Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. Cindy here from clbcraftcreations.blogspot.com with another card for you in our holiday card series. Today is day 15 and this is going up late, so I apologize. It was supposed to be up on Friday, but things just got away from me and I wasn't able to get it done. So this is the card we're going to be making, and it features the Wondrous Wreath bundle set. So we'll be using this set again. Zoom out. So we'll be using this and the matching framelits to do the word cut out there. And we're going to be doing some embossing. So let's get started. Take the first image on our of our wreath, and this piece is Whisper White, and it is cut at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm going to bring in my mouse pad. You can use your Stampin' Pierce. Now I'm also going to be doing some embossing, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick little swipe with my embossing buddy. You could probably wait until after you stamp, but I'll go ahead and do that now. So we're going to stamp the first portion in Smoky Slate, and you want to try and get that centered as best you can. Now this is going to matter. You don't want to get ink on this little piece up here, because if you overstamp and you get that on your card, you're going to be upset because we are not cutting this out. Okay, so then just center that up in the middle of your piece. Nice even pressure. Okay, so it's dry. Now remember, when you pick it up, however, that you need to put it back where, remember how you pick it up, just because you need to be able to line up the second piece of the stamp. Otherwise they're not going to line up properly. So our next piece we're going to do in with Versamark ink, and we're going to stamp that and emboss it with silver embossing powder. Okay, so ink that up real nice with some Versamark, and then line that up. Now it's very hard for me to do this because I can't see over top of it. Off. Let's get some silver embossing powder on there. Okay, clean it off. I've got some stray spaces here, so I'm going to clean it off, and then I'm going to go ahead and emboss it, and I'll be right back. Super shiny. I love how pretty that is. And we're going to go ahead and put in our berries. Again, remember where you put your how you had it lined up. So we're going to take the berries now, and we're going to do our best to try and line these. Now, be advised that if you stamp your berries onto the embossed area and you don't allow them to dry, they will smudge off. So, with that being said, I don't know that you can actually stamp these without putting them on there. So you just need to be careful afterwards so that you don't smudge it. So you could certainly skip this step if you wanted. I just think that it looks really, really pretty. So for our black, I'm all over the place today. Sorry guys. Now the inside piece is cut at 4 by 4. Since we're actually making a square card, it was just 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. My inside piece I wanted to keep a little bit bigger because I'm not going to mat that one. So we're going to take the Happy Wonderful Christmas, and we're going to ink that up in our Tuxedo Black ink. And we're going to center that. Okay, perfect. That away, and now we can start assembling. Now one other thing I did do that I didn't do on camera is I die cut this Noel. I don't know if you can see, let me move this. So I die cut the Noel from the framelits, and what I did, and if you've got the silver foil paper, this will work for that as well. I didn't have any on hand, so I just went ahead and die cut it out. And then I used my Versamark ink. I just patted it all on top and then covered it with the silver embossing powder, and I embossed it. And I thought that it looks really pretty this way. So you certainly could just die cut it in the foil. Purely up to you. This was just easy for me at the time. So Okay, so we've got our card base, which is in basic black. It is cut at, let's get this out of the way so we can see. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4 to make our square card. Okay. Burnish those edges. We have Smoky Slate, which is cut at 4 by 4 square, and that's going to line up right on top there. And then we're going to bring in our, let's go ahead and do the inside first. We'll just get that done. And just get your adhesive. Okay. And then we can go ahead and layer our Smoky Slate piece. Meanwhile, we're letting the, okay, and then we're going to bring in our embossed piece. Now you'll notice it's warped, so we're going to need to use some extra adhesive. You could even pop this up if you want to pop this layer up. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a little smudge right there because I did not make sure that the guide piece at the top here was cleaned off. And so when I stamped, I overstamped and I got red on there. So we're going to fix it though. We're going to find a way to cover this up. Since I'm going to put this die cut on here, I think I'm going to try and find a way to cover it up and no one will ever be the wiser. So see, we can just strategically place that. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get our adhesive on here. And again, remember, because it's been embossed, you're going to need to use a little extra. Make sure that you get those edges really well. Die cut piece on that it's going to go where we want it to go. So we just line that up. Smooth out the edges. Wipe off any excess adhesive. Okay, and then we're going to take our Noel, and I'm just going to use a little bit of two-way glue on the back. Get this out of the way. Just put it in as that. Scooch this out. And so now I know that I need to hide that. I start there, and then, whoops, it's stuck to my finger. Okay, so just hold it for a few seconds before you lift your hands. Make sure that you secure. You could probably even use glue dots on this in the larger areas of the Noel to hold it down. But the two-way glue works just as well. So that is, and that is done. So over inside, I'll bring in my original, which was the Joy. So now we have a beautiful set of cards. And this is, again, one of those cards that I'm telling you guys, you can easily mass produce these cards. That's the nice thing about some of these sets, is you start an assembly line, you can get them done in no time. So I hope you enjoyed today's card project, and thank you for stopping by. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and comment. Let me know what you think. Make sure that you stay tuned for next week. I will not actually be doing any cards next week since it is it's the week of Thanksgiving, but I will be doing a giveaway. It is Thanksgiving, so I thought it'd be fun to thank you all for subscribing and watching my videos and thumbs upping them. So look out for those. There's actually going to be 3 giveaways next week, so make sure you stay tuned. I will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.